Look out! Here come former SportsCenter anchor Bob Stevens, esteemed basketball coach Rich Basirico, and Hall of Fame sports writer Curry Kirkpatrick. And someone's going under the bus.
Hey there, I'm Justin Jarrett sitting in for Bob Stevens for this edition of Under the Bus, and got the usuals with me, Curry Kirkpatrick, the Hall of Famer, and Rich Basirico. And Bob always says you're a Hall of Famer. Are you in any Halls of Fame, Rich?
Sorry, say it again.
Are you in any Halls of Fame?
Hilton Head Prep.
Hilton Head Prep Hall of Famer. All right, so he is officially a Hall of Famer. I'm the only one, I think, who's still waiting on my Hall of Fame nod. And we're having a little bit of audio issues with Rich. But
Rich is not in the microphone Hall of Fame. He's got to talk louder. Get up to that mic.
Microphone
Rich
is struggling tonight. We're going to blame the phone on this debacle. Yeah, we'll just have to be quiet when Rich is talking, I think, so we can make sure we hear his wit and wisdom. But Bob traveling in an undisclosed location will keep his identity safe, his whereabouts safe, so that he doesn't run into any trouble while he's away.
He's not in Venezuela, I can tell you that.
Well, I heard he was in the running to be the leader over there, so we'll see. No, we're here to throw some people under the bus, though. So we start with Bob, of course, for traveling when he should be doing our podcast. But we're on the eve of on the brink here of the another round of the college football playoffs, and I got Ole Miss and Miami about to go at it in the semis, just like everybody thought it was going to be when this tournament started, right? But where you guys want to go with that? There's plenty of folks in college football we could throw under the bus this week.
Well, Rich, I think we first got to throw ourselves under the bus, because Rich and I, a couple weeks ago before the holidays, picked the winner of this tournament. And we both picked Texas Tech, right, Rich? Yeah. And Texas Tech scored 0 points. They didn't score a point. So we're embarrassed about our picks. We're under the bus to start off with.
Well, when you watch that game, Texas Tech against Miami, I kept on saying to myself, how did the team win 12 games? How did they win 12 games?
Well,
defensively, they were solid. They were terrific. But offensively, I don't understand how they beat people. When I looked at the balance between offense and defense, and surely defense, as I mentioned, was terrific. But offensively, wow.
They had a bad day. That's for sure. I want to go to most of the quarterfinals were mostly duds, except for the great Mississippi Georgia game, yep, which really was terrific. But that leads me to Kirby Smart, who just after Sean McDonough, the announcer, said that Kirby Smart was one of the great coaches of our generation, great coaches in history. Kirby made one of the greatest, dumbest decisions in history. They were, Georgia led that game by 2 possessions twice. Now they're down late, 27. They're down 3 with 9 minutes to go. They're on their own 33. It's 4th and short. He sends the punt team out, which would have been right, and then tries some trickery. He replaces that with the regular team. They go out and they run the 4th down play on his own 33. That, the quarterback just gets swallowed up. No down, no gain. Mississippi takes over, and Trinidad Chambliss throws his 13th straight pass for touchdown. And Georgia's down 10, and they're chasing the game the rest of the quarter. I thought it was really a bad mistake by Kirby. What'd you think, Rich?
These guys who try these, having the punter thinking about on 4th down, it's ridiculous. If you want to go 4 down, then decide, okay, on the 3rd down and 4th down, I got 2 downs to get the 1st down. And run it. I mean, they always have to pass. They have a punter passing down the sidelines in one of the games. What do you hit down? Pass to the sidelines is the most difficult pass there is in football.
Well, all these teams have 3 or 4 4-star quarterbacks on the sideline, and they're letting the punter throw the pass.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
Well, Georgia did tie it later to go, but it just seemed like, they were just chasing it. And then that enabled Trinidad Chambliss, who is terrific. I mean, hopefully he's going to have a great game tonight, but he's formerly from Ferris State in
Yeah.
Michigan, which is also, nobody knows this, but Ferris State is the school of the great Al Jardine of the Beach Boys. Just wanted to point that out. But Chambliss just, he also, by the way, his name Trinidad, he's not named for the island. He's named for the boxer, Felix Trinidad,
Yep.
who his dad admired. So, Trinidad just, and to speak of that, just knocked out Georgia with that last quarter 40 yard possession that kicked the field goal to win the game.
And Curry, when he went to Mississippi, he was the back when the season started. He was the backup quarterback. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a story. What a great story. But so, even after the game, I'm gonna keep throwing Kirby under. After the game, he kind of grumbled about that it seemed like a road game to him because Mississippi had more fans and that, he kind of was saying that we already beat Mississippi. Why do we have to play them again on a quote neutral field, which wasn't exactly neutral? And he kept saying they had a lot of momentum. Well, I don't know. Georgia, after Kirby won his 2 national championships, they haven't made it back now in 3 years to the championship game. And I think it pointed out the SEC dominance is now over. And I think, since the NIL started, all the SEC teams have gotten a lot better. And the Alabamas and Georgias and LSU can't stockpile players anymore. Like they did. Their second teamers were, 5 stars. And now those 5-star guys are wanting to play on first teams and they're going to all these other schools. So I think that's what this season we're seeing that the SEC was 2-7 against teams from other conferences. In those 9 games, they were favored 7 of those 9 games.
Curry,
wow.
Those 2 wins you're mentioning, one of the wins was the 2 SEC schools were playing against each other.
Yeah, well.
Had to be a win for them. So when you look at it overall, they always talk about how strong their league is. They don't do very well in the playoffs, do they?
Certainly haven't this time around. Big Ten looking solid with all Big Ten semifinal, although that feels weird to say still with Oregon being a Big Ten school still feels very strange. But that's the other matchup that we wait on tomorrow. Indiana, Oregon, a rematch, and the rematches historically have not gone well for the team that won the first time, but I think we're all feeling pretty bullish on Indiana after last week. So should be 2 great games this week. But on the subject of Ole Miss, we cannot escape Lane Kiffin, who continues to just live under the bus. He must really like it down there because he just seems to willfully rage bait everyone, just rage bait.
All these coaches, the different coaches now, some of them are allowed to coach Mississippi in the game. Others are staying with LSU. Yeah. It's been a total mess. It's really a tribute to what's his name for Mississippi that's going to take over as the head coach. What a job he's done. But I think, as I said last week, I think I told you guys.
Golding, that's his name.
Golding. Mississippi's become like America's team now. They're America's sweethearts. Everybody wants Kiffin to be sad, and everybody wants Mississippi to win. And Kiffin's sitting there in Baton Rouge, wondering, he left that team who might win the championship for this other team that he's going to have.
I hope he never gets one. I hope he never ever gets one. Just like Brian Kelly, he did the same thing Brian Kelly did. He left the place where he was on the cusp of being able to compete for a national championship to go to a place where, I can win one there. Who says? I mean, it's been a minute since they've won one. I know Ed Orgeron won one, so it does seem like anyone can win one there. But it's not as easy anymore as it used to be. Like you said, you can't stockpile all those 5 stars on the sideline anymore.
Well, I think if Mississippi wins, you watch Kiffin will take a lot of that credit. Look the foundation I built. Look what happened. Yes, they had an interim coach come in and do a great job, but he's going to look at the whole season and say, "Look, I had these guys prepared for the playoffs."
He's still getting $500,000 every time they win.
That's right. But to give him his due, this is his team. He recruited these guys, brought them together. But he's going to say, of course, if I was coaching, we would have won it anyway. We would have won it bigger. He'd probably get on and say it. before we leave college basketball, I just want to make a point about Indiana. I'm kind of sorry, but there's something about this Hoosiers, this Sig, I call it the Signando show with Signetti and Fernando. It's something about these guys that are very annoying to me. Signetti's faces on the sideline is sad and
Well,
mad, and
they're opposites
it
too.
becomes
It's a
like
Felix and
memes.
Oscar
It
situation.
becomes like memes, yeah. But it's and then when Fernando his post game interviews, I mean, the guy looks directly at the camera. He rattles on about God and country and so forth, and it seems so rehearsed. It almost seems rehearsed and memorized. And I don't know. For me, they've turned this wonderful, heartwarming story into kind of a whack-a-mole, a weird whack-a-mole comedy. I mean, it's just, I don't know, routine. So I'm rooting for Oregon. I really
Okay.
like Dan Lanning. I don't mind the
I like
Phil
that.
Knight money, and I love the duck. I love the duck as the mascot. So I'm rooting for Oregon.
Okay. You heard it here first.
Douglas
Um,
Boss is kind of a geek, doesn't he? When he speaks and just his actions on the sideline, he's just like I can't see him in the NFL. I mean, I know he's got a lot of talent, but can you imagine some of these 30-year-old guys warming up to him? I just can't see it. I just can't see it. It's like it's the
oh
kid from
shucks, guys. It's a beautiful day to play football. Yeah, he's got a certain quality about him. And like he's the guy that graduated from Cal Berkeley in 3 years, right? And then
Yeah,
went
yeah.
looking or 2 years or whatever he did. It was crazy. He's super smart, obviously, and he reminds me a lot of Andrew Luck. Just kind of almost
Yeah.
like reluctant athlete, like but he's a champion, I mean he's
Well,
a dog.
if Brady loves him, Brady sounds like he's running the Raiders now. If Brady likes him, he'd be the first guy picked.
Hey, I heard something today that was interesting that they might make a run at Signetti too.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Signetti's
that.
just cocky enough to think he can go win
Yeah,
in Vegas.
that's right.
So
That's right.
if he goes with Mendoza, that could be
Yeah.
fun. But well, we're going to try to get in and out so we can get to the football game tonight. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with more. Throw more folks under the bus from the NFL here on Under the Bus, presented by Hudson's Seafood House on the Docks. Beautiful place on Hilton Head Island. Well, we tiptoed up to the NFL there, talking about the potential for a Indiana exodus to Las Vegas. The Raiders will not be involved from here forward until the draft. They're one of the teams sitting on the sidelines, but NFL playoffs right on top of us. We don't have to wait 3 weeks for it like we do in college. We get to strap it on and go right at it this week. And with the 7 teams in each league or each conference now, you get a really healthy wild card weekend. You get 6 games. It's really nice. What are you guys looking forward to the most here? And I guess who are you putting under the bus? Do we want to go playoffs first, or we want to start talking about the firing squad that has taken place over the last week?
Dolphins firing McDaniel today, right?
Yep.
He thought he was locked in, that he did, did well towards the end of the season, and didn't think he was going to lose his job. But I think part of that is, I think Miami thinks they can get Harbaugh to come down there. Who knows?
That's a
Harbaugh is
good.
he's
That's a
the
good
wild
point.
card because the reports yesterday, Schefter said within, I think it was 20 minutes of the announcement that he was parting ways with the Ravens, 7 teams had reached out to his agent, and there were only 7 teams with openings, and that included the Ravens. So somebody's job wasn't safe, and I guess now we found out today that it was Mike McDaniel in Miami that wasn't safe. They're going to make a run at him. Where do you think he fits best? And I, contrary to what some have said, I do think it was time for a change there.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
both he and the Ravens needed a reset.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned. Rich didn't mention his Giants because I think Harbaugh might go to the Giants.
I do too.
That's
would love that. I would love that to
yeah.
happen. Somebody came out today and said that they think he can get $100 million. You got to be $100 million for a head coach.
Well, it feels to me a lot like
Giants would love to have him. I just don't know if he would love to go to the Giants. You know, he's an Ohio guy.
Cleveland makes sense to me.
Someone said he probably wouldn't go to Vegas just because he'd want to be in the same conference with his brother. So,
But Cleveland's got terrible ownership. They have a terrible team.
You're right.
They have a mess at quarterback. I mean, if
Southgate's
Jackson,
nice.
the fact is when you look at their roster, outside the quarterback is kind of up in the air. They really have one of the best running backs in the NFL in Robinson, one of the best wide receivers in London, and a very good tight end. And they've improved through the draft defensively. So I think that's a job that's out there that would be.
And
it took.
I know he's had Lamar for a million years, but before that, Harbaugh did win a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer, so he can operate without a legitimate quarterback.
They're also talking about McDonald. Is it McDonald, the Dolphins guy, going to the Ravens so he can work with Lamar and work some magic? That would be kind of fun to see what that guy.
His offensive mind in the playbook with Lamar could be really fun. He also won with Flacco in 12 as that was Billick who won with Dilfer, wasn't it? It was Flacco in 12.
Billick and Dilfer. Yeah. Well, this all happened. This all happened about 20 minutes after one of the great final games of history, the Ravens and the Steelers. I want to get back to that because I want to do a bus throw for sure under that. Everybody's got to admit that as much as Aaron Rodgers is an egomaniacal, self-serving, arrogant jackass, what a show he's 42 years old. What a show he put on in that game in the fourth quarter. And then Jackson came back with 2 touchdowns. And the guys that go under the bus are again the kickers. Fritz Boswell of the Steelers misses the extra point that should have cost him the game.
Yep.
He should have cost him the game. And then this poor rookie gets up there, loop-de-loop. What's his name? Looper or something.
Tyler Loop.
Tyler Loop gets up there and misses the 44-yard chip shot. I mean, when you think of 44 yards, that's really not a chip shot. But in the NFL these days, it is. And that thing never had a shot. I mean, it was just like a cool
Shankopotamus. Just shanked it.
Yeah, total shank. And that's just after, of course, Rich, somebody pointed out that a priest had spread holy water in the end zone. A Pittsburgh priest. Did you read this? They had a video of him sprinkling holy water in the end zone where Tyler Loop missed the 44-yarder. So I don't know. Tyler Loop said, "I just hit it. We call that hitting it thin." Tyler, we call that choking at big time. That's what we call it. Hitting
poor guy. Thin. Poor guy.
I want to also point out another coach that wasn't in that game that's going under for me, and that's Zach Taylor of Cincinnati. What's his name? Myles Garrett has the great sack, gets the sack record, and Zach Taylor started bitching and moaning that the refs didn't tell him that they were going to, call the game for 5 minutes while they celebrated and while they honored Garrett, and he's bitching and moaning that the refs didn't tell him. He said, we were playing for our lives here. And come on. The game doesn't mean anything. The next day Rex Reed came on ESPN and he just killed Taylor. He said he's playing for their lives. He said they haven't had lives for 10 weeks. Their lives have been over for 10 weeks. And he's right. I mean, the game was it didn't mean anything. And yet, so the next day, Cincinnati rehires Zach Taylor. I mean, that right there tells you what a sinkhole. That's why the Bengals are such a sinkhole.
Well, why are the Bengals so bad? Seriously, they got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. The running back.
Well, he's always hurt.
Why are they not better?
Well, their offense, they never address the offensive line, and their defense is atrocious.
And they never win a game in September. They did this year, but they always start
And
0
the
and 2
quarterback's going to
every
walk. He's
game.
not going to stay there
Yeah.
because he knows he can see that he can't
Well,
win there.
Well,
He's always
I was,
hurt because they never invest in their offensive line.
but he had to have approved their rehiring of Zach Taylor. They went
Right.
to the quarterback and asked him, "Shouldn't we get?" I mean, I'm stunned that this
I
guy's
am too.
that the
But
quarterback
they
wanted
stuck
him
with
back.
Marvin Lewis for a long,
Yeah.
long time. So they're loyal franchise, I guess, to their coaches.
Hey, how about what did you guys think of the Eagles coach Sirianni benching his starters in the last game? Then he loses the second seed. Chicago takes over. Now, that might not be a big thing, but it means that he has to play the 49ers at home instead of the beat up Packers. And more importantly, if he wins and the Bears win,
He has to go to Chicago.
the Eagles are going to have to play the Bears in Chicago rather than playing them at home because he didn't play his starters. What was that all about, Rich? What did you think of that?
That's a big mistake. These guys who worry, they sit here and go, well, I don't want anybody getting hurt. You play for 17 weeks. You should be worried every week then. I mean, you can't just go through a whole season and all of a sudden say, we're going to get hurt this week. I mean,
Yeah.
any play, any time. Talking about the 49ers, Curry, that was an embarrassment for them playing against Seattle at home where they only scored 3 points.
Yeah.
30 in the last 4 games. They scored 3 at home with a chance to have the number 1 seed.
And they're all, Rich, they're all hurt. 49ers are really, they're missing
they
3
have
of their
been all
best players.
year.
But
it's been smoke and mirrors all year.
But you're right. They'd been averaging 30 the last 3 games, and Seattle just beat them up. I mean, it was it was
Seattle
embarrassing.
looks really good. I mean, if there's a favorite, I think it might be Seattle for me.
Yeah.
If there's one team that I trust the most. With that said, both conferences are wide open. I mean, you can see almost anybody getting out of there. But if there's one team I trust the most, I think it is Seattle. They've earned it. Their defense is outstanding, and nobody can guard Smith and Jigba. He's unguardable. He's incredible.
And he's
and
not
Darnold,
even he seems so small to be so good, doesn't he?
He's phenomenal.
I don't know. I want to go back to the sack record though. And did you see the last sack of Joe Burrow? I mean, people were comparing it, saying it was almost like Favre going down for Strahan's last record sack. But to me, it was worse. I mean, Burrow just turtled. He just turtled, and what's his name? Garrett came around the end and just kind of fell on him. It was like, come on, give me a break. Is that a sack? Come on, it's not.
It was a little soft. It was a little soft. By rule, it's a sack, but it was a little weak.
Yeah,
but good for Garrett.
All right. Well, all right.
But he got it in game 18 anyway, so it barely counts, right? Or game 17. So.
Okay, before they start, who's going to win the title? Super Bowl champion.
Oh. I'll stick with Seattle. I'll stick with Seattle.
Who you got, Rich?
I'm going to go with the Rams.
I got to go with my beloved Buffalo Bills playing the Rams in the Super Bowl, but I'm picking Bills.
Right.
Okay.
Josh Allen, Superman. He needs to be.
All right. I'll take Seattle over Jacksonville. How about that?
Yeah, well, good dark horse.
Yeah. I think Jacksonville and Houston are both dangerous in the AFC. Houston's defense is outstanding. All right.
They're coming down to Jacksonville. That's some nice warm weather to play in.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Jags Bills is going to be interesting. Advantage Jags on the weather for sure. But all right, well, college football game's about to get started, so we're going to take a quick break and come back and throw some folks under the bus from college basketball, the NBA, and who knows where else we'll go, which path we'll take with the bus as we make speed bumps here on Under the Bus, presented by Hudson Seafood House on the docks. Hey, Justin Jarrett here, sitting in for Bob Stevens, along with Curry Kirkpatrick and Rich Basirico, talking sports on Under the Bus. And we know you guys love the college hoops. In fact, almost every time we try to do a show, Curry has to try to bump the time because there's some college basketball game and he's got to get the tip. But and Rich was on the call for a great college basketball game last night. USCB here in town beating Flagler on a last-second shot. But I'm sure you guys have been pouring over the college hoops, and you got some folks to throw under the bus. Who caught your eye this week?
I'm going to go first, Curry. I'm going to throw TCU under the bus on Tuesday night.
Yes.
15 with less than 5 minutes to go, and Kansas came back and tied it. Kansas is only the 13th team in the history of college basketball to be down by 15 with less than 5 minutes to go and come back and win. That shouldn't happen. I mean, that should not happen. I mean,
that hurt my heart.
With less than 5 minutes to go, you got to hold on to the ball, value the ball, and continue to play. And then on top of that, you have Connecticut down by 11 with 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go, and they come back on Providence yesterday. So I don't understand how teams can get these leads and play so well, and then down the stretch. I mean, we're talking about major college basketball players. We're not talking about high school teams. We're talking about major college basketball players who played in front of big crowds. I mean, the Providence game was actually at home, and it shouldn't happen. And I'm not saying that teams don't come from behind and win games, but when you're up by 11 with 3 minutes to go, or up by 15, actually TCU was up by 9 with a minute and 14 seconds.
With 74 seconds left or something, right? TCU was up 74 seconds. Unbelievable. Rich, did Jamie Dixon, who's the TCU coach, did he call timeout in the last 3 minutes? I don't think he did. Did he call any timeouts?
Yeah, I don't think he did either. You know, Curry, it's amazing you bring that up because so many coaches, you know, I brought this up about 2 weeks ago. Rick Pitino didn't call a timeout in the last 4 possessions. Why these coaches don't call timeout when you have timeouts left? I mean, for them to sit there and go, well, if I call timeout, the other team might change their defense. So what? You need to know, your players need to know what they're supposed to do. That's the most important thing. Your team, knowing where they're supposed to go, what you're looking for, what sets you're making, what defense you're going to play, if you're going to foul or not going to foul. You worry about what the other team's going to do. Make sure. Look, here's a perfect example. Last night, well, this coach did. Penn State was playing Michigan. Michigan in college basketball, and they were down double digits twice, and came back, got in single digits, had a chance to win the game. They called timeout with 7.3 seconds. So I'm thinking this is great. Coach's diagram of play. This is going to be fun to watch. The ball is inbound to a player named DeLong, I think it's pronounced. He gets it. He's on the right side of the floor at the top of the key. Dribbles to his left, the left sideline. Reverses, dribbles back to the right sideline, and then takes an off-balance shot. Like that's the play you diagram. And the other 4 guys sit there and watch. Well, one guy did step out like he's going to set a screen, but he didn't. And the guy just dribbled left, right, off balance, kicked his leg up, shot it. It was terrible.
Yeah, I was watching that, Rich. I was watching the game, and I'm screaming at the guy the whole 9 seconds. I'm saying, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. He kept dribbling side to side. It was terrible, and it's the coach's fault. I agree. I mean, maybe he drew up a play and they just didn't do it. I don't. But this happens a lot. It happens a lot on last second plays. It really does. But to get back to the TCU Dixon was so bad that Fran Fraschilla, the announcer, were you watching this thing? The TCU Kansas? Oh, Fran Fraschilla is doing the game, who used to be a coach in the league. And he was all over Dixon. He said, I got to tell you something. I'm not near the coach this guy is, but he failed his team tonight. He said that before they went to overtime because they fouled Peterson of Kansas, who made 3 free throws, and they went into overtime. Peterson missed a shot to win the game. But so as they're going in overtime, Fraschilla just said, I got to tell you, Jamie Dixon failed his team tonight. They panicked. They were panicking the last few minutes. He never called timeout, never did anything to help them. I can't believe. You don't normally hear a guy killing the coach for doing that. And Dixon's a popular guy. He's had a lot of friends, but it was awful. It was awful. And the Penn State guy was awful. And, it's just, that's Hurley was down. Hurley of Connecticut. I think you mentioned him. Your voice was going in and out again. I know. But this is where good coaches mean something at the end of games, I think. Because Danny Hurley just, they took over the game. And they were down big, too, to Providence and won it.
11 points with 3 minutes to go. 11 with 3.
Yeah.
Not Providence.
And they fouled guys. And then they made one and one. They made threes. And, that's how you come back. But I agree.
You never let one get away late like that?
Of course. Absolutely. If you coach long enough, but at least you attempt to do something like Curry pointed out. Knicks never called a timeout.
Yeah, you're right.
When Kansas makes a run like that, you've got to call timeout.
He was just read the room, man. Read the room. The fog is rocking, and like your guys are panicking. They're having panic attacks on the floor.
Look, just relax. We believe in you. We're going to win this game. We're going to give them
play.
Every time they throw the ball away, they are starting to panic. Well, you got to stop that. You got to call a timeout. You got to utilize your timeout. Why are you staying? I don't get that. Every coach has lost games like that. You're ahead and things just.
I got a guy that lost. I got a guy that lost the last second game. I don't know if you saw this, and I don't think his coaching life at his school is going to be very long. It's Mika Shrewsbury, who went absolutely nuts. Then they played Cal, and a referee made a terrible call. It was a terrible call, but it resulted in a 4-point play, which gave Cal the game, basically. Shrewsbury's kid is on his team. He took the last shot to win the game, missed it. Shrewsbury makes a beeline for the referees going off the court. I don't know if you saw that, but his whole team practically had to hold him back. He looked like he was going to attack the referees. He went nuts. He was in berserk mode. It was unbelievable. The guy's coaching at Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't like this kind of stuff. And, the morning after, Shrewsbury came out with a statement. He apologized. The ACC came out with a statement that reprimanded Shrewsbury, but no fine, no suspension. I was stunned that they didn't suspend this guy for at least 2 games. He was a maniac. And we got a thing over there. Here he goes. Here he goes.
My, he wanted to throw hands.
Yeah, it was bad. I got a funny coach under the bus. He went, on this current, Baylor just signed this guy who was drafted in 2002. James Njai was drafted in the NBA, the 31st pick, and now he's playing at Baylor. Coaches are going crazy, but the loophole was that he never signed an NBA contract, even though he played professionally in Turkey. All these coaches are going crazy. Izzo, Mark Few, Calipari did a 7-minute rant after the game the other night. It was hysterical because one of the things after bitching and moaning about these guys should not be allowed to play in college, he said, even if you're Russian, I don't care. If you go in the draft, you cannot play college basketball. And then he went nuts. And of course, everybody was thinking, was Cal crazy because of the NCAA was allowing this, or was he going crazy because he didn't think of it first? But he went nuts. Oh, he also said, look at what's the percentage of the kids who make the NBA? There's only like 1% or less, unless they play for me, of course. He's very. I know, Rich, you don't like, but he's very funny, even in these serious subjects.
I was glad he came out. I was glad that he came out and said something about it because the NCAA is they're going to draw the line sooner or later.
Yeah, they got to stop this. Yeah. Well,
Terry, how about this? The leading scorer for Virginia is a kid from Belgium, and he plays in the professional team over there.
He's like 35 years. He's like 35 years old.
Well, he's
Isn't he the kid from the guy from Virginia?
Yeah, but still, think about he's playing professional. It's not the NBA.
I know he shouldn't be playing. And when you see him play, you can. I mean, it's like a manic playing against kids. I mean, he's really good. That guy. I don't know if you've seen. He's really good. But how about I got a whole team to throw in there, and that's the Nebraska players, undefeated Nebraska. They won a big game at home against Michigan State. The kids stormed the court, and the Nebraska players came out after the game and criticized their fellow students for storming the court. They said, we don't storm the court. Look, we're unbeaten. We should win games like that. Really? Nebraska's the only team only team in the four big four conferences to never win an NCAA tournament game. Never win. The only team ever win. And so, the kids are starved, and the players are criticizing their own classmates for storming the court. Come on, Nebraska.
Most players would say, "Hey, we won a huge game. Why students come on the court?" So they should be grateful that they're there supporting them.
Exactly. That's what I say. I don't know.
I once covered a basketball game at Nebraska, a Mizzou game.
Really? Who Missouri played?
Yeah, Mizzou at Nebraska back when they were in the Big 12. And all I remember is it was like the worst accommodations for the press ever. Like we were like in a basement, small ceilings, like it was a cramped space. And that they had one of those mascots that's like sort of inflatable that like robotic bounces around, that Cornhusker man. And he was just mesmerizing the whole game.
Justin, how about Mizzou beat Kentucky at Kentucky?
Well, first we beat Florida.
Your Tigers are doing great. Florida and Kentucky.
After getting absolutely boat raced by Illinois, just didn't even show up for that one. But that one doesn't count in the SEC standings, so I'm fine with it. We're sitting 2-0.
Yeah, that's a big rivalry too. I was stunned that then they came back and won those two big SEC games.
Yeah, big time. So I'm excited about that. Anybody else we got to throw under the bus, boys? Or are we ready to go watch some football?
First up to throw under the bus, that's Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to retire with the most Super Bowl wins. How is it possible to win your own division?
He's got to win 4.
4 more.
And
4 more. Jerry.
And they're not anywhere near winning one anytime soon.
You can't win your division first before thinking about winning the Super Bowl.
Make the playoffs first before thinking about winning a Super Bowl. No, I mean Jerry Jones could live under the bus with Lane Kiffin and John Calipari and Bobby Petrino and all of our other favorite targets. But anything else, Curry? You got any last minute bus throws?
No, if I could just take one more throw at Shrewsbury. He's the Notre Dame coach, basketball coach at Notre Dame. You got to have some class. Last year he came out and he blasted. He's been involved in a lot of controversies there. I think this is his last year, but he blasted his own Notre Dame fans because they walked out before the end of the game. They walked out early, and he came out after the game blasting his own fans. I mean, what is he thinking, this guy? And then he goes after the ref. I mean, come on.
He's a crash out.
That's what can't do that at Notre Dame. Yeah.
Can't control himself. Well, it's been fun, guys, but we got football to watch. So we'll let the folks get on with their lives and we'll get on with ours. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It's always a joy when I get to sit in for one of you guys and be a part of the conversation. We thank you for joining us. We thank Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, a great spot on Hilton Head Island for sunsets, cocktails, seafood, whatever you need. They got a great brunch. And I hear that if you get the Po' Boy Andrews style, that is like creme de la creme. So if you make your way down to Hudson's, check it out. So great time sitting in for Bob Stevens, Curry Kirkpatrick, Rich Basirico. Always a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Under the Bus.
Thanks, guys.